Hi everyone, it's Bitcoin from the Big Chubowski. In the finals of this interesting Chromium week, I'm up against Radar Tech Matt. Radar Tech Matt is from the guild Rebel Force Jeddah and has a 350k lifetime score by now. So really impressive opponent. He has previously and quite frequently scored, I think, like top 20 Kyber, a couple seasons in a row maybe even. I don't quite remember. I do recall having seen his name a couple times. So definitely one of the very strongest opponents that I fought in Grand Arena so far. It's a super successful record, has the ultimate Ray now. He did go into Grand Arena without the ultimate, so I know that. And for the rest, I think his speed's probably just about equal my own across his roster. And he's got a bunch of characters that I should really worry about, like that Relic 4 Django over there. So let me just show you what has happened. So we already attacked, and over here he took 3 attempts on Darth Revan, then one-shot the other 2 teams. And in the bottom here I wanted to feed him the teams that he would have the most difficult choice with. I really assumed that he would keep his Treya for offense, but I guess he saw my Geos and figured, well, those are not exactly worth a Relic Scion. So he actually put his on defense, so I don't quite know what he used here to take this out. But 3 attempts on the Night Sisters. And then in the back he left Padme standing without any attempts and took out the Kira team. Now what's interesting is that when I woke up this morning, I actually saw this Kira team still standing. So I'm a bit suspicious about this one. What I think he's trying to play here is that he actually has Rey in the back and he wants me to use my Supreme Leader Kylo to solo his Grievous team so that I don't full clear, and then he still has something to take out my Padme. That is my suspicion at the moment, because I don't see his Night Sisters anywhere. So I think that he uses Night Sisters to beat my Grievous team. I think he intentionally preloaded my Darth Revan twice and then used his Padme. I think he mirrored my General Skywalker. And then in the bottom he just kind of had to struggle through my Night Sisters. That's what I think. So I think he still has his JKR left against my Padme. Now, he didn't even clear fleet, so why wouldn't you clear the fleet if you were already pretty certain that you'd be able to, like, that you would be losing because you made so many mistakes? So I'm pretty convinced that this guy is trying to bait me. It could also be the opposite, that he's trying to bluff and have me fail on his front wall to then fall short and make as many mistakes as he does and then try to pull even in terms of banners. But I don't buy it, because historically he goes very heavy on offense. He does change it up sometimes against interesting opponents, like I guess pretty similar to me in terms of playstyle. But what's interesting here is if he would have kept Rey for offense, why on earth would he have failed 3 times on Darth Revan? It makes absolutely no sense. It just really doesn't, because he would use his his Rey against General Skywalker or against Darth Revan, and then General Skywalker against the other, and those would have both been one-shots. So why would he do that? It just doesn't make sense. And then if you look at the other zone, maybe he cleared this first, then he probably did, then he saw Padme in the back and realized that he had to do something different against these other teams. So I just find it hard to believe that he would have Rey on defense. That he would have Rey on offense. It doesn't add up for me. I don't get it. And I think he can still beat the Padme team, he just doesn't want to show me that he can. But I think if he were smart, he would have just cleared the fleet as well to really make it look like he was done, and he hasn't done that, so I don't really know what he's getting at there. So anyway, showing his defense then, he put Treya on defense, which I don't really face too often. Then his Geos, which are not to be underestimated as well, with a Relic 3 Spy, and I unfortunately have my Nest on defense because I didn't think I was going to need her. So he played that one very nicely. This is a very good defense using his roster, I think, for what the expectations of the match were, so I'm very impressed. Then Mission and Zalbar there with the Bounty Hunters, because he's obviously pulling out Django and another for the new team, which is pretty annoying because of the Gear 11s there, but then you can't really take it easy on there because of the Nest and the Django that he has. And then the Grievous team has Relic 7 BB-8 in there. Grievous himself is modeled with a bit of crit chance, good health, pretty slow, actually quite a lot of crit chance, so yeah. So he's trying to really go for that kill on Jolie essentially with all that crit chance, but normally seen with all my crit avoidance it shouldn't be a problem. He does have like a 10% chance to crit me or something like that, but that is relatively low. So what I could do, and what he wants me to do, is use my Supreme Leader Kylo over here against Grievous and just burn through that. But I think my only choice here is pretty simple because of how he's played things. I'm going to use my Bastilla JKR, and if I fail for whatever reason, then I don't have another choice but to use my Supreme Leader Kylo. And if he then has another team in the back, then he will probably win. But if I would immediately use my Supreme Leader Kylo, then I think the odds of winning are pretty small. Considering how he did on offense, he could still have General Skywalker in the back, he could have Darth Revan in the back for all I know, because his is slower anyway. So there's possibilities there, and I don't want to risk any of them really. So I've got to try and get through this. It is a very strong team, so let's get started with that one and take it from there. Oh wow, I went really quick here. That's pretty unusual. Let's draw B2 out of stealth. I guess he has a pretty slow team all around then. And get a hit in on BB-8. Now what's most important about this match by very far is to decide when BB-8 must die. If I try to kill BB-8 too early, like when I just... Whoop, got a bit of lag here. As I was trying to say, if I try to kill BB-8 too early, then Grievous is gonna get that full AoE in and hurt me a lot. So I really don't want that to happen. He messed up my turn meter, like my turn order a fair bit here. So now Grievous is really low turn meter, but I'm still gonna kill B2 because that first kill is really important. But the next one after this, especially BB-8, I've got to be very careful about. So I can AoE. Basically, I just want to buy some time until Grievous is close to max turn meter, and then I'll take out BB-8. And in the meantime, I can drop the stacks on B1 to make Grievous himself a little less dangerous. Obviously can't really do much there. Now my Yoda's really vulnerable here, so I'm not too happy about that. It's just basic. It's a very sturdy BB-8, so I can afford to spend some time on him. This, I should also hurry up a bit because it's already 3 minutes that have passed. Though I must say, it feels weird how few Grievous turns are happening so far. I don't really get it. Feels like I should have at least taken one more with BB-8 on the field there. Let's do some foresight. Hate JKR going down there. So now I wouldn't want to target his BB-8 because I would chain up another AoE and that would really hurt me. Let's try and make some speed now and stop talking as much as I am. Get the kill now because Grievous is about to take a turn. Then Jolie is going to revive 3 at once, hopefully. There we go. Now hopefully Hermit Yoda, there we go, can heal everyone up. And perfect. So that wasn't too bad. It's just a matter of figuring out that early alignment there with the, let's get some hits in on him. Ability block him. Well, he's gonna cleanse those ability blocks now, so that doesn't help me too much. Do that. Almost everyone has foresight, but I'll spread the crit immunity. Thank you, little guy, you did your best. Swap with whoever has the highest turn meter. Let's do Bastilla here, because she can put some buffs on. Should have maybe done Jolie to get the revive back quicker in case I need it, but let's play it safe here. Get another direct focus in. Revive. It's really tempting to call the assist here, but let's not do it. There we go. Alright, well that was pretty easy. Let's see if we can recover the banner on Hermit Yoda there. He's gonna AoE, but I've got the foresight. Hopefully B1 doesn't get him. I've got to kill him. That's too bad. It's 56. Probably. There we go. Alright, well that's the first one down. This next one won't be too easy either. So my most logical choices against Newt here, considering everything else he has in the front wall, are either Rage Jedi Training or my First Order. Because I can still put together another First Order team with my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I don't really need the premium characters for that, so to speak. Especially if he doesn't have Night Sisters on defense, then I don't need my Watt for anything, really. I mean, he helps in every team, of course, but I can always add him to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and probably just take out any raid team with the two of them that this guy might set. So over here, I think I'll use the First Order team. I have to be super careful of Jango, though. He's really quite formidable. Fortunately, doesn't have as much offense because he's modded for speed, but these guys can hit pretty dang hard, and all of his teammates are pretty fast as well. So the obvious thing there would be to try to stun Dooku first, so that nobody gets stealthed, and I'm not like forced to focus on Nest and get blown to bits there. But if I stun his Jango first, then they will get stealthed. So that's pretty annoying. I basically have to stun Dooku first, or I don't see it working in any way. So I'm gonna try and figure this out on the go. I don't really have a, let's say, better way of doing it. I did also consider using my Emperor Palpatine and putting Sith Trooper in there, but if I don't really land stuns, and I won't on Nest anyway, then I think I'll start getting in trouble there a fair bit. So let's do this one. I'm gonna bring Kylo Ren Mass Lead because they debuff a fair bit. Then Kylo Ren is good for the healing immunity. Sith Trooper I don't need with my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Hux is very handy with him, but again, not really required, so I don't see a good reason to bring him along. Now, one thing that I could actually do is, if I bring First Order Officer and Hux, I could make my Kylo Ren Mass stun both his Jango and his Dooku. So that could actually be a really interesting choice, and that leaves me with a pretty decent First Order team still. I think I'll bleed a lot of banners with it if Rey is in the back, but I think I should give this a shot and see how far I can take it. So let's do that, because I don't really see another good option. The only downside of this approach is Sith Trooper is going to have to be the one to kill Nest, and that's going to be a pretty slow process. So not too happy with that, but let's go in with these. Now, they should blow most of them apart. I'm just concerned about Jango, maybe without good cause, but it is still a very strong Jango. So instead of stunning, I just came to the realization, with Hux being fastest, I could also just kind of like get rid of him. That is a good approach, I think. Then I can pull back the turn meter on, let's say, I could do Droideka or I could do Jango, but Jango's gonna get stunned anyway, so let's do Droideka. And just kill him, I guess, that works. Get the stun in this way, perfect. Now I can focus on Newt for a sec, but I'd rather get a first hit in on Nest here. Let's see. Get the stun there. There we go. And since Nest lost the protection here, I'm just going to pass it over to this guy. Okay, that was pretty good. Nest is 2 turns stunned here, so that's going to get me pretty far. I'm going to pass this one and cleanse the extortion. And now I have to make sure at all costs that Jango does not take a turn. There we go. Let's kill... that's a little bit too much. Let's wait. I'm glad I didn't kill Jango there, or he would have come out of his stun and probably killed me. So let's get Newt down. Just basic for this one. Now, I could AoE. There's nothing that really holds me back from doing that. So let's do that. Get... Oh, it didn't kill Jango. I really thought it would. That's pretty annoying. I have to use this one to kill. And this one too, or Jango might take a turn here, draw back the turn meter. And let's see, does this buff in any way? I don't think it does, right? No. So can I buff someone else to heal me? Sith Trooper? Just not enough. Too bad. It's gonna be 58. Well, I'll take it. General Skywalker and CLS. Wow. This guy went hard on defense and still got so far against me. So that's super impressive. I really am impressed. It does make me wonder if he's still able to take out my Padme considering what he has. But he made a very good choice, I think, in putting CLS on defense and Traya as well. So I don't think, like, looking at his defense, I don't think I can full clear him. Don't know what would make it against CLS here. Because my Rey Jedi training team is kind of needed in the other zone, I think. I do still have what? Yeah, it's pretty slim pickings. So let's get started on the top wall first. And see how far we can get there. Now this is so interesting, like fighting an opponent like this, I think, like he said, one of the best and most interesting defenses I've fought in a long time. I think my map was pretty nicely done too. Like to try to stop him from getting a full clear front wall, which worked out for me, but maybe it was intentional on his behalf, so I'll never really know that. So I think I'll fight the Jubert Alpha team next, because that one's pretty important for me. I really have to get through and see what I can do there. Now it's tempting to bring my Vader and to try that counter, so EP, Traya, sorry, what am I saying? EP, Vader, a couple of others with Thrawn, but yeah, I'm not so sure about it. I'm really not. I'd rather save the EP team up against either the Bounty Hunters or against their CLS. See if there's anything at all I can do there. The odds are really small, but you know, it can be worth a shot. So I'd rather save that and see what else I can do. Now, also super tempting to use my resistance against the General Skywalker team. Also because he's pretty low on the protection, and normally seen I should be able to do that. The 5s is also pretty squishy. I would love to show you that genuinely, but this is not the match where I do it. Because if I fail that one, then I risk not clearing the other zone, and I don't want to do that. So, going on this one, and Traya, and I'll add Vader here. I think I can use everything I can get my hands on. Although Vader, nah, he is too important for another team. So, let's see. Can't even find Sion. Where's he at? What do I want to add here is the question, because I don't know if these 3 will be able to survive. I'd love to say that they can, but I can't say that. So Thrawn, I'd rather keep for something else. Droidica is just gonna get picked off, doesn't really add anything. I could add L3 for a little bit of pre-taunting, to take at least some of the initial damage to increase the chances for Sion to survive. Wampa is like a, yeah, like good AoE days. It doesn't really help me. It gets cleansed and I need them to damage themselves, so I just need someone who survives. So what other options do I have that could damage or hinder them in any kind of useful way? Vandor doesn't add anything. I think anyways the buff that he might get on him will just get dispelled, so that does not help me. I'm currently leaning towards Old Ben a little bit. The AoE turn meter removal and ability block is really nice, especially the ability block part. And I could also throw in Dengar to try to counteract their spy from stealthing. That could be pretty good because Jubert Alpha tends to start with an AoE. So that could be a good way of dealing with him. So let's try that actually. Dengar will be sorely missed in my Bounty Hunter team, but my Bounty Hunter team, I think looking at the map here, isn't going to do a whole lot, unfortunately. So let's try and make most of these characters. I'll bleed a bunch of banners, but you know, let's go for it. Now, normally seen I should be okay against the spy, but you know how these things go. Should be. So they're really focused on L3. Why is Spy... I was gonna say, why is he stealthing? Okay, they like Treya the most. So normally seeing their Spy shouldn't be able to crit here. Sorry, to... what am I saying? He's got a buff. Let's strip it. Shouldn't be able to stealth here. See if I can even stun him. Dengar, you beautiful, beautiful bounty hunter. Let's get an ability block on... Who's up? I think I'll just kill Spy. Yep, good play. Wasn't sure if I'd be able to make it, so I was a little hesitant there, but turned out to be a good choice. And it's not even the worst on banners either, because Dengar stealths there. It's a pretty good use of a character that otherwise just doesn't really get too much action. So if you're ever struggling against a Geonosian team and you're in a position like me, I know this is so niche, but if you're ever in this position, then this can be a good solution. You can throw in Dengar, he immediately gets stealthed, and that stealth stops their Spy from stealthing. I believe, like now I'm starting to doubt, does it if there's no bounty hunter, but I think it's like regardless, bounty hunter lead I mean, I think it's regardless of that, so that should work. 53, that's still a little lower than I thought it was going to be, but I mean if I would have actually counted then I would have realized it. 53 is what I'd get. Okay, Treya then. Alright, after giving it some thought, I think I want to go in with CLS, Han, Chewie, C-3PO and Old Ben. May end up regretting that one, but I'll just have to see how things go. Don't really have a great chance of winning here, but let's see how it goes. So I'll start by stunning their... It doesn't really matter, honestly. I can stun whoever I want, but it's just going to get cleansed. See if I can swiftly burn through L3 here. Let's first remove some turn meter on Scion. Okay, that's L3 gone. That's a solid start. Let's get rid of Treya next because she damages me a fair bit. Although I need to kill Nihilus first. I'm misplaying this otherwise. Alright, let's get the group attack in on Nihilus. That's a fair bit of healing. There we go. Then let's go for Treya next. Scion isn't too much of a threat for now. Except he's gonna force me to go for him. And if I can kill him before he does his creepy hand thing, that's all the better for me. Alright, Marauder is really, like, totally transforms as a character compared to when he's relicked. Pretty crazy. Alright, Treya should be going down in a sec here. And there we go, it's still 54, but it's a full clear of the team, so I'm pretty happy with that. Means I have to use something different against the bounty hunters, but that might be where my Emperor Palpatine can do some work. So next up, let's fight the General Skywalker team. Now, I have Watt for that one, so that's pretty nice. I'll be bringing him, I think. I don't get the benefits of a full First Order team where I don't give them any turn meter though. But I don't have that anyways actually because I didn't bring Hux. So let's go with Kylo, bring along Watt, and then throw in a couple characters that can still do something useful. Like the Stormtrooper here. And then this guy for an extra stun. Yeah, let's keep Phasma. This should be fine. I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna go back in because I'm paranoid. Sorry for that, but I want to make sure I'm fighting the actual team I want to fight and not throw my chance of full clearing after I just did what I did. So yeah, I don't think I need Watt for anything else. Alright, let's start with the tank tech on my Stormtrooper because he is going to take the first hits. Quite used to having Hux in there and then not then Rex not actually getting to go. Let's do this one. So that is most important. Strip all of the protection. Should be close to ultimate. Wow, that was pretty painful. I want to fill up the ultimate entirely, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna drop a bunch of banners here, but that's quite alright. Let's put the weapon one on this guy, if he survives anyway. I would have liked to already topple General Skywalker here, so I'm not super happy with that, but it is what it is. They've got so much power. Alright, now let's get this hit in here, and then hopefully the complete annihilation of the entire opposing team. Don't know actually if I'm gonna trigger sacrifice with that. Didn't actually think that part through. Putting myself into really risky territory here actually, because yeah. So I did trigger sacrifice, that was actually really stupid, and it could actually end up getting me, like costing me here. So completely, for whatever reason, didn't keep that into account. I guess just out of habit, well not habit, what do I want to say? I'm not used to not having him around basically, Hux I mean. So let's do it like this so that my cooldowns can get reduced. Wow, he kind of jumped off the screen there. Get the stun in. And do another one for good measure. Yeah, kind of got lucky there, because I did misplay some things. But you know, I did anticipate that he would have something strong on the back, and that's really what he wanted me to not anticipate. So normally seen, if I just clear this team, that's certainly not the leader. BB-8, R2, and then we've got Finn and Poe. So let's see how these do. If they start stunning me in the beginning because of Resistance Hero Finn, I'll look a little bit better. So let's go with that. Okay. That could have been worse. Let's not make him hide anyone. And start focusing on the mighty Chewbacca. I think I want to put offense down on CLS here, although I can't because I don't have C-3PO on me. Never mind. So we are going to turn meter swap here to Resistance Hero Finn. He can swap over to Rey. Well, swap, he's just going to hand out the stuff that he does. Yeah, nothing to worry about. Alright, let's have a little bit of fun here. Thank you for playing. It's been a wonderful ride. So I'm pretty happy with that. Then I can go through the last team in front of his fleet anyway. So Emperor Palpatine, Vader, now normally seen, let me just check the Bosk, but I can't imagine it. He's got a fast one, but outspeeding my Vader, that would be something else. He could have done that if he kept his Django here, maybe. But that changes a lot of stuff up. I also still have my Bosk as a tank, so just in case I want to protect these guys, I can do that. Death Trooper can be pretty fun, but TFP and Tarkin are just something else in terms of debuffing and healing the rest. Also, my Boba could actually be a bit fun. But I think I'll just go with these. I've got more than enough control. And let's have fun with Vader's new ability for a bit. So, Force Crush, and then let's go. Ability block, please. Thank you. Get one on Boba. Or not. I guess Boba doesn't really give a shit. Get this one. Put up some more dots. And then we're going to go for... I wonder if this could get close to killing. Probably not. Let's not do that. Yeah, it's not even close. Alright, I want to ability block Zaalbar and get the buff immunity. Let's see if we can prevent them from taking any turns at all. Fracture... Who do I want to fracture? That's actually a good question. Let's go for Zaalbar, just because he's annoying if he ever gets rid of his buff immunity. Yeah, if. I want to kill Boba, feed a bunch of turn meter. That's just in time. Swap over to Vader. I think he can do his... no, he can't. Okay. That was my bad. Let's stun him. Get a shock on him, although he cleanses that anyway. It doesn't really make a difference. Okay, good. Ability block mission. Force crush. Killer. Stun this guy. I have no idea what kind of end score to expect. I know I lost a fair bit against the General Skywalker team, which I'm still surprised that was the one in the back. He's done some really impressive stuff to try to beat me. So really nothing but respect for this opponent. The only thing is that Zaalbar here stacks a ridiculous amount of defense. So I'm going to just let him take a turn. And probably even saber throw him. Nah, the defense is too high. The saber throw will also be nerfed, so that doesn't make any sense. Alright. There we go. Sometimes it's just a lot quicker. It's really tempting to try to stick with the total control and keep pushing back the turn meter with fracture, but eventually you're just not going to end up hitting at all. And that just doesn't make any sense. So the fleet then, he's got Geospy in the front. I don't see that very often. I wonder if he's looked at the history and tried to figure out a way to stop me from using 4 ships. I'm just gonna go with 5. Because there's no reason for me to risk anything at this point, and I don't care about those 2 banners essentially is what I'd be potentially getting. So why would you put Geospy first? I guess maybe he... What if he watched my videos? Just thinking out loud here, because I like to basic... Yeah, I see what he's doing maybe. If I basic here, I feed turn meter, and Spy will stealth, and then I can take Spy out with the AoE days. If I hit any of the others, they get turn meter and they hit me first. Like that. And get Vulture thingies on me, and then Hyena taunts. Yeah, I think that's the play there. Which is, it's clever. I can appreciate it. There's definitely some thought behind it. This is not a random decision at all. Because now if he calls in Soldier, for example, then he could definitely take me out. But yeah, you do need to anticipate that part as well. That's why I wasn't too worried about sort of springing the trap, as Kenobi would say. Because I knew the consequences there. I fight Malevolence fleets every day in Arena for my climb, so it's daily business there. I wonder if he... I guess he didn't put Sunfac in his reinforcements. Maybe he wanted Sunfac to come out next, I don't know. I'm also tempted to try to still clear it without my Ahsoka, but it feels a bit cocky. And I honestly don't know if I can, because they are hitting pretty hard. But I guess here, if I would have had the AoE available, then I'd do it. But I don't, so let's clean this one up. Just try and get a bigger hit in than the basic. Hopefully not lose this guy. Oof, close. There we go. So let's see the final score. He attacked, he's been watching. 1904, that's actually pretty low. So in terms of his strength of defense, really impressive. Yeah, so he took out my fleet as well before any reinforcements came in, so good job to him. That's a lot better than what I did. Let's see, is he gonna try and attack? Well, he knows he already lost. But I definitely bled a lot of banners up against the Treya team. I think I got 53. The Geos was about the same. Bounty Hunters was 60. Then in the front, Grievous was 56. Newt was, I don't even remember, 58, I think, something like that. And then over here, yeah, 47 and 59. So all things considered, he really set a defense that bleeds a ton of banners, so super well done to him. I think if he still clears this, if he could, then he would end up at, let's say he would get 60. And then the zone itself is 180, so 240 more. So he would be about 40 banners lower-ish, 40 or 50, I think. Anyways, thanks to my opponent for probably the most interesting match I've had in a very long time. Nothing but respect for him. This was a really cool match and really made me think there. I almost messed myself up by bringing Nihilus in the Geo team there, but managed to figure it out with CLS in the end. So all good there. Yeah, I hope you all had a good week. I definitely enjoyed the different challenge of immediately going into Chromium. Can't say I will intentionally do that every round, because you do really set yourself up against insane opponents sometimes, but yeah, it was fun. I liked it. So we'll see if we do it again in the future. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon for another round of Grand Arena. Finished the round, I wanted to message my opponent, and then I noticed that he already messaged me actually. He said congratulations, knew it was going to be a tough match, and he did really mix it up a bunch based on his history, so I think that worked really well. I just had like a lot of versatility on offense still to get through that. But what surprised me is that he tried to use his Night Sisters against mine. And if you look at his Night Sisters, that's not really the call I would have made, but I guess he wasn't prepared for my exact defense either. So maybe it was his only choice. But using this up against mine seems like a risky choice with the Gear 12 Spirit there. But yeah, I guess he used some other stuff to clean that one up. He actually waited with fleets not to see if he could outbanner me somehow, or because he was still holding for Padme, but he thought there was a feat. So that's why I just read into it a bit too deep. Anyways, thanks again to my opponent, it was really fun, and perhaps we'll have a really interesting rematch sometime in the future.